So we back with another horror story. Yeah, horror stories. So today we're reacting to four true scary horror stories animated. I don't know how to say that word really, so I'm not gonna say it. Thank you for the people who watched my last video. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. You don't even have to like, but at least subscribe. And thank you for the people who watched my video. Let's get into the video. As you can see, horror stories are a big thing on my channel.
Don't turn on the light.
She commandeered the room in the basement of her dorm room as soon as she realized she would have to pull an all-nighter in order to prepare for tomorrow's final exam. Her roommate, Jenna, liked to get to bed early, so she packed up everything she thought she would need and went downstairs to study, and study, and study some more. It was 2 o'clock when she realized that she'd left one of the textbooks upstairs on her bed. With a dramatic sigh, she rose and climbed the stairs slowly to her third-floor dorm room. The lights were dim in the long hallway, and the old boards creaked under her weary tread. She reached her room and turned the handle as softly as she could, pushing the door open just enough to slip inside, so that the hall lights wouldn't wake her roommate. The room was filled with a strange metallic smell. She frowned a bit, her arms breaking out into chills. There was a strange feeling of malice in the room, as if a malevolent gaze was fixed upon her. It was a mind trick. The all-nighter was catching up with her. She could hear Jenna breathing on the far side of the room, a heavy sound, almost as if she had been running. Jenna must have picked up a cold during the last tense week before finals. She crept along the wall until she reached her bed, groping among the covers for the stray history textbook.
Groping? Wait, what?
In the silence, she crept along the wall until she reached her bed, groping among the covers for the stray history textbook.
Yeah, she was groping
In the
something
silence,
else. Don't
she
lie
could
to me.
hear a steady drip, drip, drip sound. She sighed silently. Facilities would have to come fix the sink in the
I
bathroom
think I
again.
broke my neck.
Her fingers closed on the textbook.
Either that or it's to my
She
back.
picked it up softly and withdrew from the room as silently as she could.
It hurts.
Relieved
It's
to
like
be out of the room, she hurried back
here.
downstairs,
It's like
collapsed into
it's
an
like my
overstuffed chair,
back.
and studied until 6 o'clock. She finally decided that enough was enough. If she slipped upstairs now, she could get a couple hours sleep before her 9 o'clock exam. The first of the sun's rays were beaming through the windows as she slowly slid the door open, hoping not to awaken Jenna. Her nose was met by an earthly,
I should get
metallic
dreads.
smell a second before her eyes registered the scene in her dorm room. Jenna was spread-eagled on top of her bed against the far wall, her throat cut from ear to ear, and her nightdress stained with blood.
Bro, I
2
never want to
drops of
get...
blood fell from the saturated blanket with a drip, drip noise that sounded like a leaky faucet.
Yo, if I die, I don't want my
after
throat to be
scream
slit.
poured from her mouth.
All I want to do is get shot.
But she
That's how,
couldn't
if I'm
stop
dying like
herself
that,
anymore
like someone's gonna kill
as
me,
she could
just
cease
shoot me.
wringing her hands. All along the hall.
When I say shoot me, like if I'm gonna get murdered, and when I say shoot me, I don't mean shoot me in a whole bunch of my body parts. I mean aim for the head. Like, I mean, yeah, aim for the head. Either that or my heart. Cause I'm trying to go out, no pain. Maybe I feel a quick second of it, but I'm gonna be dead. Unless I survive that, cause sometimes I don't be understanding how people survive some of these gunshots, and I'm just like, oh gosh, that happened to me. I might give up on life right then and there. The pain. I don't even want to get shot. And if I'm about to die, if you're gonna slit my throat, do it in my sleep. I don't want to feel that. Like, I'd rather get shot. Like, if if I'm gonna get stabbed by a knife, if someone's gonna kill me by stabbing me, I'd rather be asleep. Like, just sleep. Yeah, I'd rather be asleep. I don't want to feel that pain.
Doors slammed and footsteps came running down the passage.
No.
Within moments,
I really
other
might kill
students
myself
had
then
gathered
and
in her
there.
doorway, and one of her friends gripped her arm with a shaking hand and pointed a trembling finger toward the wall. Her eyes widened in shock at what she saw. Then she fainted into her friend's arms. On the wall, above her bed, written in her roommate's blood, were the words,
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
No, where are all these ads coming from?
Cut.
And why?
"Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?"
Yo, that's the thing about me. Because when I walk in rooms, I always turn on the light. So, oh gosh. Like, it all depends. Like, if I
When I
don't
was
turn
about
on or
12,
not.
my great-uncle John came from Ukraine to visit us in Canada. He had a lot of stories, but this was the one that stood out.
Are you from Canada?
In the late 1960s,
Oh,
John was
yeah.
traveling by train from his village to another
So
to visit family.
you're just smoking in trains now, huh?
He had to change trains at one point
Okay.
and was dropped off at what amounted to a platform and a hut in the middle of nowhere.
I didn't know we could smoke
There
in
was
trains.
no one else at the station, and other than a dirt road that led off into the surrounding woods, there was nothing there.
Mm.
He waited for some time, but no train came. It was winter, and getting colder and darker.
What's with all this loading?
Just about the time he started worrying about having a place to stay and some food to eat, an old woman appeared out of the twilight. She asked if he was waiting for such and such a train, and when he said he was, she said it wouldn't be along until the following day.
Come on, man. That's a
She
little
asked if
sketchy
he
right
needed a bed
there.
for the night, and offered him a meal.
She
at
don't
a
even
room at her
look-
place,
she don't
which
even
said
look
was
right.
about an hour's walk from
The
the station.
paintings? I mean, yeah, she could have been Indian
Lodging
or
with
something.
locals
No,
was more or less the
no
standard
offense.
when
Because I
traveling
know
in
y'all
this
be
part
going
of
to
the
mass,
USSR.
but still, that don't mean anything.
Great Uncle John wasn't looking forward to a hungry night on a cold platform, so he was glad to accept her offer. He took his suitcase, and they set off together down the dark road.
Now I feel like I should delete that part. I feel like that was offensive.
It was more than an hour away, more like 2. And
Yo,
by
what
the
happened to
time
all the
they
face?
arrived at the
Yo,
woman's
I
small
swear, man.
two-story house, John
These
was
people be
tired
forgetting
and
stuff.
hungry.
I saw a whole bunch of
They
painting
went
on her face.
inside, and the woman lit some oil lamps and warmed some borscht for them.
Yeah, she looks
It
like
was
a
the
witch.
first time John was
Witchcraft.
able to see the woman clearly, and he was a bit startled to realize that the old woman was actually a man. Not wanting
No,
to cry,
no.
and too tired to care,
I would
John
have
finished
ran.
his soup
No,
and asked where he would
no,
be sleeping.
no, bro, no.
She led him up the
Why are
stairs
people so
to a
dumb?
tiny room with a window
would've-
that contained
Wouldn't
a
have
single
even
bed
went. I would have
and
left that
nothing
area.
else.
Like, after I didn't see a
He
train in
thanked
like
her,
an hour or
they said
two.
good night, and she closed the door. Then she locked it, leaving him in the dark. Somewhat creeped out by this, John called to her, but she
Her?
didn't answer.
Didn't you just say it
He
was a
heard
guy?
Nothing.
Hold up. Maybe I'm tripping.
Dark. Somewhat creeped out by this, John called to her.
Wasn't it a
but
guy?
She didn't answer, and he heard
I swear
nothing.
he just said it was. I swear he
Figuring
just said it
would
was a
deal
guy
with it
though.
in the morning, and that she had probably done it by mistake. John set his suitcase down and laid on the bed,
You're telling me that's what you-
deciding to make the best of it and get some sleep.
That's like her going in the room and stabbing him as soon as he looks at the bed. You think that's a mistake? You think that was a mistake? Oh, I just happened to pull my pocket knife out of my pocket and stabbed you. You're telling me that? But you're telling me she locked the door on accident. You're telling me she just went out and locked the door. She closed the door and locked it. You're telling me that's what you think of accidentally? There's no way she accidentally done that. Now, if the lights were on and maybe she left and accidentally turned off the lights, that's a different thing. But locking the door? No. 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 No.
Before he could fall asleep, though, he felt the urge to pee and got out of bed, hoping to find a chamber pot or something he could pee in. He got onto his hands and knees and began to feel under the bed in the darkness.
I think I've seen this.
Thinking
Isn't it
that's
gonna be
where
a
the
dead
vault would
body?
be if there was one. Instead, he found a body. Great Uncle John went right to the window to see if he could exit the room that way. It was nailed shut. He knew that if he remained in the room, he was probably a dead man.
I would have.
But if he broke the window and tried to get out that way,
True,
there was a good
true.
chance that the old woman, and who knows who else was there, would hear him and come into the room before he could get away.
And I wouldn't have even went, but so I don't gotta worry about this type of stuff. But
He pulled the body from under the bed, heaved it onto the mattress, and covered it with the blanket. Then he got under the bed and waited. Sure enough, about an hour later, he heard footsteps coming slowly up the stairs. And then
luckily he woke
towards
up.
the room.
He would have been dead if he didn't.
The lock clicked, and the knob turned slowly. In the
Close your
gloom,
eyes.
John saw someone move towards the bed. He heard several terrific and sickening thuds. The person had bashed the body on the bed with a large crowbar, which they had then dropped on the floor right in front of John. There was silence. Then
Grabbing
the
and
person
beat
went
the
out of
person.
the room, and the door was shut again. The footsteps went down the stairs, and then once more, silence.
Wait till morning, bro. Wait till
John
morning.
moved out from under
Wait,
the bed,
should you wait
took
till
the
morning?
crowbar, and was able to slowly pry the
Okay.
window open.
That's smart.
He didn't say, but I imagine he was shitting bricks the entire time. When the
That's
window
reasonable.
was up, he threw his suitcase out,
Mhm.
then dove through himself, not caring what was below him, only worried about what was behind.
I
He
understand.
landed without too
Somewhat.
much injury and began to run into a field behind the house, towards some lights in the far distance. It turned out to be
It's
a
like a
highway,
2-story
with some
house.
military and
Surprised they didn't
transport
break it.
trucks on it, and John was able to get a ride to another village where he could catch a train.
Okay.
He didn't bother reporting what happened to the authorities, since at that time in the USSR, there was a distinct chance he would be the one who got into trouble. He just thanked God that he escaped, and decided that the next time he traveled to visit
Oh,
relatives,
so he's smoking the trains again, huh?
another way.
You know? You should never wait at a train for longer, especially at night. Like, if a train isn't coming, a train isn't coming.
Big news. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you the fastest way to become a millionaire. Right now, there are over 1,700.
Yeah, get off my screen.
Last summer, I came home
Get
to
off my
visit my
screen.
parents and siblings. I usually spend my summers working for my university's housing.
I want to
So I
work
was
when I'm
really
14.
eager to get away from all that and spend a
'Cause
relaxing
I know I can get
few
a
months at
job
home.
at
My parents' house is in a
Chick-fil-A.
decent neighborhood. Never had there been an instance of burglary or home invasions. It was a pretty quiet suburbia. I would even venture to say boring on some accounts. Anyway, last summer, the air conditioning was broken at our house, and my dad was going to have a repairman come by and check it out around 2 p.m., and he would leave work early to meet him.
Dang.
My mom and sisters were off to work and school, so I was at the house by
Look
myself.
tired.
My room was upstairs. I took a nap and woke up to the sound of a door slamming at around 1:30. I didn't think anything of it because I thought it was my
You
dad
can
meeting
go.
a repairman
You can
a
go.
little early.
Go away.
I decided I'd go and join them to
Before I
see what
throw
the
my
damage
shoe
was.
at you.
I was eager to get the AC
No,
back
now go
because
before I throw
summers
something
in
at you.
Texas are
Why is that
awful.
camera showing?
And you thirst
When I
at you?
got to the second floor landing, I noticed something was off right away.
Such a brat.
It was dead silent. I heard my dad's gun cabinet open, the place where he kept his most prized guns. I thought it was strange, but my dad did love to chat and show off his things.
Does it look like I'm talking to a
I
friend?
honestly had no clue
Like,
what
you
was
must be yes.
going on.
I want to punch
And
my
then my
sister
cell phone
sometimes.
rang in the bathroom next to my room. I was keeping it in there to charge because the outlet in my room was broken.
Bam,
It was my
bam,
dad.
bam, bam, bam,
He was
bam.
calling to let me know that the repairman was coming at 3 instead of 2. Now, I've read where people talk about going cold all over when they're afraid, but at that exact moment, I felt like I was about to throw up everywhere. I was so scared because whoever was downstairs was not my dad, and it apparently wasn't the repairman. I locked myself in the bathroom and told him what was going on. He promptly told me to call the police, and I did. The operator stayed on the
This is
line
why I
with
want
me
to
and
have at
said
least
the
one knife
officers
in
that
my
would
room.
arrive
At least one weapon.
had a safe word they would tell me
And
to
like,
assure it was
leave it
actually
under the
them.
mattress or something.
I sat in the dark bathroom for what seemed like ages,
Or under my dresser.
my heart
So that I could
racing.
just...
Finally, there was a soft knock on the door. The man said it was the police and gave me the safe word, and I quickly ran out to meet them, almost hyperventilating.
Oh.
And in a flash, all of the
Okay.
police officers were training their guns on me. I held my hands up, freaking out, but they ushered me away from the door quickly. I didn't have time to ask questions because the officers turned on the bathroom light.
Oh, wait.
Standing in the bathtub was a man, dressed all in black, clutching a knife. He was staring right at me. He was there the entire time.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Rory Blanchard here. How would you like to make
Okay, now I'm
$1,000
confused.
in
Hold
a day?
up.
Would that change your life?
Shut
Well, if that's
up.
the case, guys.
Hate ads. Did this guy want to get caught? If I sneak into someone's house and I'm about to kill you, oh, I'm killing you. I'm not leaving unfinished with my job. I mean, I'm never gonna kill anyone unless I really had to, but I hope I would never have to. So you're telling me this guy sat in the bathtub the whole time, or standing, whatever he was doing, not making any type of sound, just there, listening to her, calling the cops. So, the question is, if you heard someone, oh wait, hold up, I might have to watch that over again, cause wasn't she in her room? Like, why wouldn't you stay in your room? I know the bathroom is one of the most, like, places I'm pretty sure you shouldn't go, but me, if I'm in my room and someone was to come in right now, I'm closing the doors, I'm locking the doors, I'm going under my bed, cause I have one of those little pull-out things, so I'm going under my bed, and then I'm gonna go under the other part of my bed. Like, you know how, like, you have the pull-out thing, so when you, like, you can go over the pull-out thing, like, where you can put another mattress. Like, I would go on the other side of that, so if they do pull it out, they don't see me, and I would lay as low as I can, with at least my head probably laying like this, so then they can't see me, right? Smart. Dang, I am really a smart person. So, yeah. But he decided, like, we might have to rewind that for a quick second. Because me, oh, I would have probably cried if I was to leave the bathroom and with the cops just to see them pointing a gun at him that whole time. I probably would have cried. I would have had PTSD after that or something. Like, I would have been, no. Like, he was right there the whole time. And then he had that creepy mask on. Hold up.
He was in the light.
Look.
Standing in the bathtub was a man, dressed all in black, clutching a knife. He was staring right at me.
No. He was in there the whole time. I would have cried right then and there.
I've always had
I would have cried right then and there. I would have not been... No. Okay, I might have not cried. But I definitely would have been scared. Like, could you imagine that? The cops kicking down the door or opening the door. Could you open it? They point the guns, but it looks like they're pointing at you. So you're confused, like, why are you pointing the gun at me? Someone was trying to... Well, this is my home. And it's like, once you get behind them, they're like, get behind. So you get behind, and then the guy's in the shower curtains the whole time. And imagine, what if when she locked the door, she went right into the shower curtain? Or just opened the shower curtain? Oh, she would have been dead. Oh my gosh. Just to even think about that gives me the chills.
innate fear of the
No,
night.
no.
Not so much
I
the
couldn't.
dark, but the night itself. As a child, my
I would have killed
imagination was
myself after
overcome
that.
with
I'm like, you're
stories
not
of
killing
creatures
me.
that come
No,
alive
I'm
at
playing.
night and the safety offered by a house
I would have
and
fought back
light.
though.
I never had anything to base this fear on, and
Also, why are you wearing a mask where you're smiling? Like, don't smile at me when you're breaking in my house. Have a sad face or an angry face or some type of mask that does not show. So I know you a psycho over here wearing a mask where you're smiling. Don't smile.
till a night when I decided to go with a buddy of mine to a baseball game and got stuck at a light at 2 a.m. after dropping him off at home. Of course, that night, the game went into extra innings, and so I didn't
Before
get
you
a
look
chance
like
to drop
Damian
my friend off
Wayne.
back home until well after 1 a.m.
Smiling, trying to kill
Everything
someone.
was fine on the way home until I hit a
So
light,
weird. How you smile when you're trying to
right
kill
before
someone?
the street that led to my house. It was a T-junction, and I was turning left. The light is one of those that you think is broken until it finally turns green right when you finally decide to just run it. So, of course, I pulled up right as the light turned red. I would have just run the light, seeing as no one was there and it was closing in on 2 a.m. on a school night. But earlier that week I had heard the phrase, character is what you do when no one is looking, and for whatever reason, that was the night I decided to prove to myself that I was a man of character. Big mistake. I pulled to a stop at the light, feeling good about myself, bordering on self-righteous, when I happened to look out of my window to my left and noticed a lady sitting all alone on a bus bench.
Don't, bro.
We made brief eye contact and I quickly looked away.
Okay.
It was too late. I could see movement out of my peripheral vision and knew she was coming my way.
If you ever see me, like, let's say I'm an adult and you were to ever see me at night and I look at you, I don't care if you're waiting for a bus, whatever you're doing. The only time you'll get a chance of me picking you up is that day. Yet then I probably still wouldn't. Like, it all depends because people be crazy out here. I might let you in. And then before you know, you stab me in the back of my neck. Oh, now I got a knife right here. Then you get your other knife and slit my neck, and people be doing crazy things. As soon as I saw her start walking over, like, I wouldn't have even stopped and looked. Well, wait, there was the light, but I still wouldn't have stopped and looked. As soon as she was walking over, I would have, boom. I don't care, red light or not. If there's no one there, I'm just going. I'm straight up just going. Like, don't walk over to me, wait for your bus. You'll be good. You don't need a ride from me. And watch, I bet this guy let her in, too. I bet he had a whole little conversation with her and let her in. And then he's gonna say, I was feeling a little anxious. Just watch, just wait.
I looked out the window
I don't even know
and
this, but
noticed she
I
was
can
carrying a bag.
Oh,
I
a
quickly
body.
checked that my doors were locked and that all my windows were up.
Good job.
I then moved my right foot above the accelerator just in case and braced myself for what was to come. I was hoping it would just be an awkward exchange and was praying for a quick light change before she reached me so I could just get out of there.
Yeah.
But I knew there was a slim chance of that.
Yeah.
She walked right up to my window, put down her bag, and began to tap on my window. I nervously looked up at her and she
Please
mentioned for me to put my window down. I had automatic windows, so I just imagined pushing too hard on the window button and that thing just coming all the way down. So I took a deep breath and lightly flicked it with my finger. The window moved microscopically
Yes,
down,
okay.
but she didn't seem to notice or care. She then leaned in and began to talk. She said,
My boyfriend beat me up.
First of all, man, that kind of fit with the moment. I heard something. Yeah, it don't matter. Something they're watching. Wow. Wow. He actually is smart. I mean, I still feel like he's gonna let her in, but maybe he won't. Also, if your boyfriend beat you up, where the marks at? You look like you just. There's no marks. There's no. You don't even look like you got beat up like your boyfriend. You look like you've been up all day and all night for at least whatever time. It looks like you've been up all night just waiting for that bus, making sure you didn't fall asleep. And what's in the bag? A dead body? Well, your boyfriend probably actually. You know what? I got a theory. Okay, her boyfriend probably did beat her up, right? So she waited. She killed him. And now some of his body parts are in that bag. Trust me, I can feel it. I can feel it. Also, who are you leaning up on my car? Like, As you saw, the lady was over here. Like, who are you all up on my car? Like, I don't care if you're a friend, stranger, my children, wife, girlfriend. Why are you leaning on my car? Like, back up.
I have a friend who lives down
I'm
the
trying
street.
to keep the car
Can you
clean,
give me a
not
ride?
dirty.
I should stop and give.
And if it was white, oh, I'd definitely be mad. Don't put your hands on my white car. Stop leaning up all on it. You wanna pay to get it clean? Like, sheesh.
Your brief physical
No
description of the black
respect.
lady. She was small and skinny and kind of an indeterminate age. She was either in her mid
I
20s
would've
and
left.
had
I
lived
don't
a
care.
hard
Red light or
20+
not.
years on the
Red,
street,
yellow, green.
or
I
she was
would've left.
60-something years old who had lived a moderately hard life on the street. All that to say, just by looking at her, there was no way to verify her story. She looked beat
You
up by
unlocked
life, not just by a
Oh.
boyfriend.
Oh.
But
Oh,
there was
see?
something about her delivery. It
You
was
left her.
robotic and
Ooh.
seemed practiced, like she was disconnected for the moment. That made my skin crawl.
I swear if you let
And
her in.
after a brief, maybe about a second debate on whether I should do it, I told her that I had to get home and that I couldn't give her a ride. After my first refusal, she leaned in closer and said the same thing again.
No, I
My
would've.
boyfriend beat me up.
My windows would have been.
I have a friend who lives down
They would
the
have been
street.
up.
Can you give me a ride?
This time, I felt more confident when I declined to give her a
Yes,
ride and told her I had a
yes.
curfew
Oh
and
my
had to get
gosh.
home.
I like
She
this guy.
leaned in a third time and
Yeah, I
began
would've-
her statement again.
My boyfriend beat
Bro.
me up.
At this point, the
Oh, I
light
would've
changed
drove
and I
off.
slowly lifted my foot off the brake and started slowly rolling forward and began muttering an apology. She didn't move. She just looked at the light, looked down at me, leaned in closer, and said 5 words that have haunted me ever since.
You made the right decision.
Then she picked up her bag and walked back towards the bench. I peeled out of the intersection and cried and screamed all the way home.
Cried
I
and
have
screamed,
no
huh?
idea what she planned to do,
That's
or
kinda
if there were more people
dumb.
waiting to jump in my car from the bushes had I moved to let her in. But that encounter has haunted me ever since, and has confirmed in my mind that nothing good happens after dark.
Wow, you decided to make the right decision. Wow. Who knows? Dang, I wish I would have figured out what was in that bag. Dang. No, that's a smart child. Because I know any other of y'all, teens, adults, anyone would have been like, because most in these stories, you know, most of the people, they're like, oh yeah, sure, get in. It's a sad old lady or a lady, blah, 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 you know. She looks like she did get beat up, blah, blah, blah. Like, what? You telling me you're gonna let a lady in? Middle? She can wait for the bus, bro. She can wait for the bus. She'll be good. The bus is, and if you have a friend that lives right down the street, why don't you just walk there? Common sense. What do you want, Tamari? Nope.
I love you.
Nope, I love you too, but nope. Nope, go. Nope, nope, go. Nope, nope, go. Get out. Get out.
Until you give me a
Look, I'm gonna
hug.
punch you until you do get out. Get out. Stop.
Give me a hug.
No, get out. Hey, you're stepping on my shoes.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were. Yo, get out.
Thank you.
I hate my sister somewhat. No, I don't. I love her, but, you know, she's annoying. Stepping on my Air Forces. Like, I'm trying to actually keep those nice. But back to what I was saying. And before y'all say, oh my gosh, you punched her, I didn't even punch her. My hand was out just like this to get her away from me. So don't try me. I do kind of want to beat her up sometimes. So. But hey, that's how everyone feels about their siblings. But you still love them at the end of the day, even though they're also very annoying. But like, I really thought he was gonna let her in. You should never don't let anyone in. Cause I bet it could have been an ambush. I know these two guys, they were riding and they saw the child in the middle of the street. Luckily, this is on video too. Luckily, they turned back around instead of just keep driving. Or like maybe let the child in, because I put so much money on it. Because there was bushes. I put so much money on it. That child was either going to try to kill them, but here's what I really think was going to happen. The child was sitting in there, waiting for someone to pull them over. There was probably people on both sides, maybe just one side. there was at least some people somewhere in the bushes. As soon as you stop to let the child in, bam, that's when they come out. Yeah, you're focused on the child. You're not thinking of that. Like, I know some people that really would be like, oh, get in. No, I'm turning around just like the people did. I'm turning around too. Forget that child. I don't know you. And you're sitting in the middle of the street, crisscross applesauce. Just, no, that's a little, like, if I need to go there, I might just run you over. That's the best chance of that. That's what's gonna happen to the poor child. I might run him over. No, I'm playing. I wouldn't do that. But I do know some people who probably would. But, smart child. I mean, he was so focused. Because he looked like he was about a teen. He was probably a teen. I don't know. But I do know. Me, honestly, I don't care if I get a ticket for it or not. As soon as she would have leaned in the first time, I would have drove off. As soon as she was coming over to me, I just would have drove off. It's like, literally, I'm being so serious. As soon as she would have came over to me, oh, I would have drove off. Red light or, yeah, red light, yellow light, green light. I don't care what light it is, I'm going. I don't care if there's cameras there and the cameras are like, oh, I caught that little boy. Yeah, I think you're gonna get away. I don't care if you come at my door the next morning. I'll pay. But before I pay, I'm telling you why I did it. So I can, might not have to pay. But if I have to pay, I'll gladly pay. I was not finna get some old lady probably had a brick somewhere. Probably, because if she had a brick, all she had to do was throw it in the window. Now the window's broken. Now you're dead. It's that simple. I would have been gone. Ambush. Anything could have happened there. And I'm not trying to get ambushed. Because these people, they're probably going to be beating me up, stabbing me, shooting me. Okay, maybe not the shooting part, but stabbing me probably. Kidnap, rape. Who knows? But, yeah, scary stories are a big thing on my channel, it looks like. But, please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Thank you for the 40 subs. Thank you for everyone who is subscribed. Thank you for everyone who watches my videos as well. So yeah, and thank you for the people who've also checked out my other videos, because I saw them go up a couple times. Thanks to my boy Keon, go follow him, Keybro first. Yeah, K-Bro is lit. He be giving me shout outs all the time, so I might as well give him one too. Anyway, let's try to get 100 subscribers before the end of the year. Have a nice day.